guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about print on demand, as you can tell by the title. And you are going to come along with me as I set up a print on demand shop and try ordering some products. So there are a couple of different platforms that offer integration or integrative print on demand, where you can set up products and like mugs or shirts and fine art prints, and then have those on an Etsy shop right along with anything else that you might be selling yourself or doing the fulfillment for yourself. And then they handle the production and the fulfillment. So like if you have a mug on your Etsy shop, then they will actually make and print and ship that mug for you. This has been around for, I don't know, at least a couple of years now, but I just haven't been able to invest any time in trying it out or getting one set up. So that had been on my list. And then I got an email from Printify, who is the sponsor of this video. So thank you, Printify. I decided to say yes to Printify because it was something I had already been thinking. They were one of the vendors that I had on my list to look into anyway. And the format of this video is basically just, I am going to take you guys along as I make some products on their website. I've already been testing it out myself this morning, and then we'll stop filming for today after I do that, and then I'll pick up again once I get the products in the mail and can unbox them with you and give you guys my honest feedback and thoughts on the quality of the products and what it has been like setting up a Printify shop. So we're not going to be able to get into everything. Like, I'm not going to be able to go into all of the details on how to connect it to your Etsy, because then this video would be like a million hours long. So you're just going to see kind of the process of me ordering, and I'll talk a little bit about that, and then you get to see the products when they're made. So I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you some of what I've got going on my screen. Okay, so here is my desktop. I cleaned it off for you guys so you get to look at Penelope and Rosie's cute faces here. Okay, so here is Printify, and I just set up my account and started working on this, started experimenting with this for the first time this morning. So I am a total newbie with it, but it is super easy. You can set up your account bit by bit. You don't have to do all of it at once. So like if you're not ready to connect to an e-commerce platform, you can still just set up an account here and start like formatting your products. So Printify were kind enough to offer to send me 4 things to review and to look at. So I decided to do a tote bag, a mug, a fine art print, and then a kid's t-shirt, which I'm going to give to Penelope. So here, I'll just show you a little image of each. Now these are just mock-ups, obviously, but this is the tote bag. This is the mug. This is the art print. And this is the t-shirt. Okay, so let me just show you how I made them really quick. It's super easy. So once you have an account set up, you just go into the catalog and you can look at any of these products. So I'll go back. Maybe we'll do, actually, let's go in the accessories. And we'll look at the tote bag. So this is what I did, and I decided I wanted to, they had a couple different tote bags. I liked how this one was the natural cotton, and it was a bit boxier and bigger. So then I just hit the start designing button, and then all you have to do is add your design. So right over here, and it's really helpful here. You can see that they have the recommended size. They have a bunch of things that you can read about, like color and which colors will print best. If you're going to be using RGB, I definitely recommend taking a look at that. I'm not going to go through it here because this isn't going to be super in depth, but it's all on their website and very easy to find. So all I did was you guys know I don't use Photoshop, so I opened the program that I use for this sort of thing, Affinity Designer, and I created a canvas that was set to these specifications. So in Affinity, I would just go to File, New, and then I can go right up here and put in the pixel size, all of that. So yeah, I set up the canvas to those specifications and then imported a pattern that I had already created. So thankfully this pattern was already a square, so I was able to just drop it right in and it was good to go. And then I exported it as a PNG so that it would have the transparent background and you'd be able to see the nice kind of canvasy color coming through. So, and then all you have to do is hit add your design, go to my device, and then this is the tote bag PNG that I selected. Now it's actually pretty huge, so I'm not going to re-upload it again, but that's all you have to do, and then it just drops right in. And assuming you have set your design to the dimensions that they suggest, it makes it really, really easy. So for that one, I was able to pretty much use that design just as is. Same thing with the fine art print. I just formatted it to be in the aspect ratio that they wanted. And then the mug, I again used a pattern that I had already created and just dropped it right into a canvas that I set up with their aspect ratio. The only one that I had to do some significant work on was this one, the donut piece. So I already knew that I wanted, this was an original painting, and I wanted to move the donuts all a bit closer together so that I could fit them all on the shirt. So originally this was the image, and you can see the donuts are all a bit further apart and they have drop shadows on them. And when I uploaded this onto the shirt, they just were smaller than I wanted them to be, and I didn't like how the drop shadows looked on the colored shirt. So I went through and I actually erased all of the drop shadows. That's what you can see. I did that in this document here. And this I happen to have in Pixelmator, which is my Photoshop knockoff, and then Affinity Designer is more like an Illustrator knockoff. I decided to do the exports. I really could have done it in Pixelmator as well, but I just like doing layout in Affinity. It's easier to build patterns in Affinity, so that was why I did it here. So then I brought them into Affinity once I had removed the backgrounds, and I just kind of resized them and aligned them and tightened up the composition a bit, and then exported that as a PNG. And I could have really simplified that issue and not dealt with it at all if I had just made this t-shirt a white t-shirt, but I really liked the idea of having it be a light pink t-shirt because it kind of reminded me of a donut box. So this is what I ended up setting up, and I think Penelope will really like it because she is obsessed with donuts. Okay, so that's it for this first part of the video. I will film again when the products arrive. I'll do an unboxing with you guys and show you what they look like and share what I think. If this does go well, I probably will end up doing some sort of an integration with my Etsy store and potentially offering some of these products. So I would love to hear from you guys if you're interested in that. If there are particular things that you would like to see. Yeah, so I will see you for part 2 in probably like a week or so for me and just a few seconds for you. All right, welcome back. It is now March 19th. The first part of that video that you just watched was March 5th, filmed on March 5th. So all of the products from Printify have arrived, and in just a minute I'm going to unbox them. I have not unboxed any of them except for one, and I'll tell you why. But going to unbox those and share my first impressions with you in just a minute. It does feel a little strange to be filming this video and not mention at least what's going on in the world, and who knows, maybe somebody will watch this in a couple of years and it's going to make it totally outdated, but whatever. I have to say something, even though we don't usually talk about current events on this channel. I'm just going to say, wow, it's been a crazy few weeks, and there is so much uncertainty right now. Eric has, I don't think I have talked about this ever on this channel either, but Eric is actually clergy, and all of the churches have been closed. All of the non-essential businesses in our area have been closed. So grocery stores are still open, but schools are closed. The girls' daycare, or the girls' Penny's preschool is closed. The girls' nanny has been sick this week, just I think with a regular flu. So yeah, it has just been crazy times, and we've been working from home. Eric and I have been working from home and trading off. One person working, one person taking care of the kids, and yeah, still trying to get stuff done. I have some projects that have been kind of paused and some projects that are ongoing. I am in the studio today, as you can see, because I decided to go ahead and come in since really the shop downstairs is closed, so nobody else is coming in, and none of the other artists are in right now either. So it's essentially the same as if I'm at home, because I'm not coming into contact with anyone. Yeah, so I'm filming here because some friends of ours, their daughter is watching the girls, their high school daughter is watching the girls. So yeah, it's just crazy stuff going on. So I just want to at least acknowledge that. And yeah, I've been thinking about you guys, thinking about people who you know, like me, be home watching more YouTube, watching more, taking more Skillshare classes, doing more online stuff. So I would love to do more videos. We'll see if that's in the cards or not. Right now, this week has just been kind of getting used to things, and we're not sure even, yeah, there is no new normal yet. We're not sure what is going to happen. So you guys will be watching this on March 27th, I think. So future, that seems like a long way in the future right now with how much things are changing every day. But yes, we are here. I'm okay. The girls are okay. It is just really wild. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the stuff that came from Printify. It has been fun to get stuff in the mail. So I'm going to put the camera actually, I think, on the overhead tripod, or maybe I'll just, well, I'm going to change the setup a little bit. So hang on for a sec. Okay, so I want to show you the thing that I had already unboxed, and this is the mug. And as you can see, it is broken. The handle broke off. I unboxed this thing because I could hear it rattling around in the box. So I was pretty sure that unfortunately it was broken. You can see the pieces of the handle in there. It came apart in 4 pieces, but I wanted to go ahead and show this to you anyway, because Printify has a really great replacement policy. So if ever there's any issue or breakage or damage, anything like that, they just ship a new one out right away. They've already sent me a new one, but with all of the craziness going on in the world this week, our email correspondence back and forth, both on my part as well, was a little bit delayed. So the new one is still on its way here. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys this one just so you could see the print quality and how the colors look. I think the color is very close. It's always a little bit trickier with products than it is with paper or things that are printed on paper, but overall I'm really happy with how this looks. I like the mug itself. I like that it's a larger mug. It's a bit of a different shape than most of the print-on-demand mugs. So yeah, I'll be curious what the new one looks like, but just wanted you to see the quality and hear about their return and replacement policy. So there's the first thing. Here's the next thing. I thought this was really cool too. You can see it puts your name on it, even though it's the address of their fulfillment center, it puts your name on it. Oh, it looks like this is the canvas tote bag. I'll try to get another angle of this as well that Meg can cut in here. But yeah, ooh, I really like the bag itself. It's pretty heavy, feels very, yeah, has a natural feel. Just heavyweight cotton canvas. The print quality, you can probably see it's the images look a little bit faded on this, but I actually don't mind that. It seems to go pretty well to me with the aesthetic of the bag, but it's not like the color isn't super vivid. So I would still definitely offer this in my shop, but I would just make sure to take pictures of, like, order a sample and take pictures of the bag the way that it looks rather than just the mock-up, because it does look a lot more vivid on the mock-up. But that's just something that you would deal with no matter what. It doesn't have to do, I think it's more to do with the substrate than the illustration itself. So just a couple of close-ups here. Keep in mind too, the lighting in my studio today, I'm using my ring light since it's super cloudy. There's not a lot of really great natural light. So they told me that they actually decided to send me an additional item, and I'm guessing they decided to send this one. This is a different tote bag. I'm guessing they decided to send this one because they wanted to show me what the print quality would look like on a bag that was white and had a different material as opposed to the more natural canvas. And I can see why, because this one is way more vivid. So you can see it has a black handle here. And again, I'll try to get another angle of this. But this one is an all over print instead of just on the center of the item. So again, this is actually heavier weight than I expected. I was expecting it to feel really kind of flimsy, but it feels pretty sturdy, pretty hefty. And it also has a nice boxed bottom. Here you can see the difference. So I don't know, I still actually really like the look of this. I just would want to make sure that buyers on Etsy knew what they were getting. if they were expecting it to look really vivid like this, it would, you know, have more of a, yeah, kind of a toned down natural look if it was on the natural canvas. All right, 2 more things. Oh man, it's cute. Oh, that's gonna be a little tiny bit big on her, but it's gonna overall fit really well. She is gonna love that. That's pretty adorable. So the shirt itself is like a really nice soft cotton. I would definitely wear something like this in terms of the feel of it. As for the print itself, the quality of the print, here, let me see if I can show you a bit closer. So you can see it definitely does not look the way that it does printed on a piece of paper, but again, I would not be expecting that because this is a product and the whole process for printing that's used is different than the process that's used for printing on paper. Overall, I'm happy with that. Penny will definitely wear it. I'll take some pictures and try to get those to Meg so that you guys can see it. And if it's something that people would be interested in, I would put this sort of thing in my shop too. But again, I would just want to take pictures of the actual piece itself, the actual item itself, as opposed to relying on the mock-ups. All right, last thing, this is the fine art print. I got a pretty large size because I wanted to see what it looked like at a larger size. Since I can do a lot of the smaller sizes myself, I'm not sure if I'll keep doing them, but yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to see it in a large size. So it comes in this kind of triangle mailer. Wrapped in some foam here. So it is rolled, they don't ship flat, but I'm not sure if the smaller prints ship flat or not. This shipping rolled is pretty standard for a larger print, I will say. There's a little bit of a ding in the side there. I'm gonna just cut some of this and make it easier to pull out. All right, so there it is. I think this is 11 by 16 maybe, or maybe it's a 12 by 16, I think. So this is a bit larger than it was actually done at in real life than the original. And overall, I think the color is really close. It looks good overall. I'm not sure if I would have this in my shop. This is the one piece probably out of them so far that I'm not sure whether I would want to do. And it's not because it's bad. It's just because I really like how how prints that I do myself look. And it would be great. It'd be really convenient to be able to not have to do the fulfillment for those, but some of like the texture is missing for me, and part of that's because it's a nice paper, but it's totally smooth and it's a bit lighter weight than the one that I use. The one I use has a slight texture to it and it's really heavy weight, so it really just looks like an original. A positive I can say about this is that the blue and getting that exact blue, that's been really challenging for me with my printer, and I have to do like lots of different tries. So I'm impressed that they've gotten the blue on the first round here. And then just the one other tricky thing is that there are a couple little notches out of the top, little dings on the top. So yeah, I'm not sure if I would do art prints this way. I think I might keep doing my own art prints. But if you had a different style of work, if it wasn't so if you didn't work in traditional illustration, or if you had like stuff that was a lot simpler and didn't have so much nuanced texture in it, then I think that this might work better. Yeah, so overall it's good. It's just I don't like it as much as what I'm doing now. So yeah, this would probably be the one thing that I would not necessarily opt to have in my shop. Okay, so those were the products. Yeah, like I said, overall, I'm really pleased with how all of the physical things, the shirt, the bags, the mug, I'm really pleased with how all of those turned out. I would carry all of those in the store potentially. Just as I said, I think for me, I would want to be sure to get actual samples of the items, which I think they do recommend on their website anyway, similar to Spoonflower, like how you can't list anything on Spoonflower until you have purchased a sample and made sure that all the colors are right and everything. So I would just use that same rule, purchase a sample and then take photographs of that and use those photos as your listing images rather than just relying on the mock-ups. So yeah, happy with all of those. And then the print, it looks good. It just doesn't look as good. It doesn't look, to me, it doesn't look the way that I like it to look. And a lot of that has to do just with my personal preference for the kind of paper that I want to have my work on. I really like the textured paper. I like the heavier paper, and also the kind of work that I do that is more really kind of refined and detailed. So I think that this would work really well for somebody who did vector, or even somebody who did kind of like a lot of flat layers of gouache. But if textural nuance is an important element of your work, and if you like to use textured paper, this is a really flat paper. It's a really smooth paper. So that just wouldn't be an element here. So overall, I would consider it a success. I am probably going to move in the direction of starting to get some things up on my Etsy shop that are done with Printify. I'm going to have a link to Printify, of course, in the description box. So thank you again, Printify, for sponsoring this video and for giving me all this great stuff. Yeah, it's been really fun to try out something that I've wanted to try out for a long time. So that info will be in there. And I think I said this at another point in this video, but if there are specific products that you guys are interested in having me carry, or in me carrying on my shop, let me know and I will explore potentially creating those. So that's it. I hope everybody is, usually I say I hope everybody's having a great week, but it feels like a strange thing to say since I know so many people are having really challenging weeks. But yeah, I hope everyone is hanging in there, and that you're doing what you need to do to get through each day and to be kind to yourself and the people around you. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, patrons. Thank you for everybody watching. Thank you, Meg, for editing. I will see you guys next week. Hang in there. Bye.